The ZEISS BATIS 25mm f2.0. Yeah, this is a really good lens. I just love the Batis series because they look so damn good. Look at that. This is... The build quality is great on this lens, and it's basically the same as all the other Batis lenses and has this metal casing around it and feels like a premium piece of equipment, you know? The weight of the lens is 335 grams, so it's not a heavy lens. It's basically the same as the ZEISS Batis 40mm, and it's just a little bit smaller than that as well. And it feels really well balanced when you have it on your Sony camera. Personally, I love the design of the Batis series because I think it looks really good. I mean, like, just look at the lens. It feels like a modern piece of equipment, right? The zoom ring on the lens is a bit stiff, and this is something that I don't like across the whole Batis series on lenses that I've tried. Personally, I think they could have made it a bit smoother because right now it feels like it is way too stiff when you turn it. And I also don't like the rubber that they have chosen on the Batis series because this feels cheap if you compare it to something like the G Master lenses, and I would love if they had put some more rugged rubber because that would make this lens feel way more premium. But something that I do love about the Batis series is that it does have this weather sealing gasket here on the back, so that means that you can use the lens outside when it's raining or in dusty environments and you don't have to worry that something is going to come into your camera sensor. So big thumbs up for that size. You also have the OLED screen here on the top of the lens, which is basically kind of a, how do you say that in English? Like in Swedish you would say signum. I'm gonna cut the word in right here, but it's basically a signum of the lens. And I guess it's really good to have if you're doing a lot of astrophotography because then you can see where your focus is set even though it's pitch black outside. But when it comes to everyday use, this is not something that I personally use, but I think it's a cool thing to have on your lens. It doesn't have any kind of buttons or switches, which I think is kind of a bummer because I would love to have the AF/MF switch here on the side. I really like that the filter thread of the lens is 67mm because this is something that makes it so much easier when you're using a bunch of different lenses, because 67mm is basically the same as the Tamron 28-75, the Batis 85 and the Batis 40mm, so you only need one filter for all of those lenses, so that is really good. The focusing distance of the lens is 20 centimeters and it allows you to get really close to your subject and give you this really nice blurred out background even though it's a wide angle lens. And 25mm might not sound like a big difference if you compare it to the Tamron 28-75, but it does allow you to fit a bit more into the frame, and personally I do think that 25mm is a more versatile focal length than 28mm. So when it comes to the image performance of this lens, I thought I compared to the Sony ZEISS 16-35 f4 lens that I got, and I shot both lenses at f4, and this lens was way sharper than 16-35, and even when we stop down to f2, this produces a really sharp result with a really nice bokeh. The autofocus of the lens works fantastically in both photos and videos, and it's basically the same speed and accuracy as the other Batis lenses that I've tried, so no complaints there. When it comes to the video performance of this lens, I do think that this is a really good focal length to have in your kit if you're doing a lot of YouTube or run and gun filmmaking, and it gives you this like really nice blurred out background and really like creamy looking shots when you use it. But what I do miss about the lens is that it doesn't have OSS, because if they were to include OSS into this lens, then this lens would probably be one of the absolute best lenses for video work that is out there. I also gotta say that I haven't tried the 24mm G Master lens, so I can't say that if this is better or worse than that lens, but I would love to try it out, and as soon as I do, I will tell you which lens is the best. The price is gonna be the biggest downside of this lens, and especially if you compare it to the 24mm G Master lens that has a aperture ring and a wider aperture and it's not that much more expensive. Overall, the lens offers some really great image quality both when it comes to videos and photos, and the autofocus is super fast and it feels like a really solid piece of equipment. I do still recommend this lens if you want to buy a cheaper option to the G Master lens and still get a really good image quality. I would love to know what you think about this lens, so please do drop a comment below. If there is any kind of camera gear that I have that you want to buy, then I would appreciate it if you use the affiliate links below, because then I do get like a small cashback from that, so that'd be really appreciated. If you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up because it does make a huge difference. If you haven't subscribed, that would be really appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care. Oh, that's a long one.
This took me way too long to record.
Bye.